If we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. Mother Teresa reminding us that as Earth's inhabitants, we are all connected. Our actions affect each other, impacting how we live. As time marches on in this year's commemoration of Peace Day, let us put action to the principle of being our brother's keeper, loving others as we love ourselves. Hi, I'm Carrie Ann Smith, and this is Jamaica Magazine. A piece to say. Stay with us.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, March 6. The Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF, has provided well-needed equipment to the University of the West Indies Earthquake Unit at Mona. The donation was done under the Disaster Vulnerability Reduction Project, DVRP, which is funded by the Jamaican government through a $30 million loan agreement with the World Bank. $83 million was spent to purchase the equipment, which is expected to strengthen the earthquake unit's ability to monitor and respond to seismic activity.
We have purchased a number of key seismic equipment, such as 10 digital seismometers, which will measure an earthquake's magnitude, depth, and epicenter. We've also purchased 30 accelerographs, and these will measure the horizontal force of an earthquake acting on a building. We've also procured 72 Ethernet radios with antennas, and this will transmit the data in real time from the seismic stations to the central recording station, which is at the Mona campus.
The Environment and Project Officer for the DVRP was providing the update at a recent JIS think tank. She revealed that other telecommunications and laboratory equipment will also be provided to the earthquake unit. As part of the project, a junior research fellow at UWI will earn a scholarship to pursue a doctorate degree in seismology, and JSIF will provide funding support for the training of staff at the earthquake unit. Jamaica's hosting of the 35th FAO Regional Conference for Latin America and the Caribbean has resulted in a framework cooperation agreement to fund cassava production in the region. The grant funding agreement was signed between the Food and Agriculture Organization and the Caribbean Development Bank in St. James on Monday. It will make $1.2 million available to support the cassava industry market assessment and technology validation and dissemination project in Dominica, Suriname, and Trinidad and Tobago. The initiative will facilitate market assessments and the testing of improved cassava varieties and production systems. The Petroleum Corporation of Jamaica, PCJ, says the oil exploration in Jamaican waters is now moving to the 3D seismic surveys phase. At a recent JIS think tank, PCJ officials said this process would begin in March by Tullow Oil Limited off the south coast between Pedro Banks and Portland Cottage.
We're hoping that once this is completed, the Tullow would have seen more positive indicators subsurface that would hopefully guide them towards maybe drilling a well in probably beyond 2020.
Results under the previous 2D seismic surveys revealed 2 oil seeps. Group General Manager at the PCJ, Winston Watson, says it was tested and proven to be crude oil, and discussions are underway to chart the way forward.
So now you have to do more detailed seismic work to determine where it's coming from, and then from 2D again you probably go 3D, or if you're comfortable you may go straight to 3D, depending on what you see and how much you see coming out of the ground.
The 3D survey will continue under the 2014 production sharing agreement with the PCJ. The process will capture 3D imagery of rock layers beneath the seafloor to identify potential oil and gas reserves. National Security State Minister Pernell Charles Jr. says behavioral and social changes are being witnessed among girls enrolled in the A New Path program. The program is being carried out in juvenile correctional institutions, offering classes such as music, art, and yoga.
If we are able to replicate what we're trying to do here outside of these walls, I have no doubt that we can really solve many of the challenges we face and that we can, in a successful way, have sustainable reductions in crime and violence and increase productivity.
The state minister was speaking during a recent tour of the South Camp Juvenile Correctional and Remand Center for Girls. A former inmate who has gotten over serious anger issues is now a successful beneficiary of a $500,000 grant from the Pitch It component of the program to start her hair salon.
Operating a social business which is a kiddie salon, is the only kiddie salon in this town. So it will be marketable.
A new path is being implemented by the Department of Public Security of the Organization of American States in collaboration with the Trust for Americas and UNAIDS. And finally, the Electoral Office of Jamaica successfully held 2 by-elections yesterday for a new Member of Parliament and councillor. After polling more votes than the PNP's Keisha Hale, the JLP's Dr. Nigel Clark is set to represent the St. Andrew Northwestern constituency in Parliament. He is replacing former Minister and Member of Parliament Derek Smith, who retired in January after 29 years in the seat. Yesterday's second by-election was to elect a new councillor for the Norman Gardens division in the Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation. The municipal corporation seat went to the PNP's Jacqueline Lewis, who secured more votes than the JLP's Headley Wilson. That by-election became necessary when the former councillor Angela Brown Burke resigned to successfully secure a seat in the House of Representatives. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Did you know that since we started our Ease Up on the Energy campaign, that electricity use in government buildings has dropped by around 4,200 kilowatt hours per building per month? We retrofitted and replaced old, inefficient air conditioning units with new energy efficient models. That saved approximately $123 million for the government of Jamaica. What are you waiting for? I'm Hilary Alexander, asking all Jamaicans to join us and ease up on the energy.
For some, especially the youth, there is no peace when the internet is down. Technology, particularly entertainment gadgets and high-speed Wi-Fi, have become a way of life for human development. Let's hear from the sector's minister, who is here to tell us how the country is advancing in these areas.
I am Dr. Andrew Wheatley, the Minister of Science, Energy and Technology. My ministry continues to play a critical role in fueling Jamaica's growth and development. In terms of energy, we have seen the development of a range of projects. Projects to include the 37 megawatt solar plant for which ground was broken in December 2017. And this is scheduled to be completed by December of 2018. This will bring some US $60 million worth of investment to Paradise Park in Westmoreland. And this will allow Jamaica to become the largest solar farm in the Caribbean. I must add that this investment will see electricity being provided to the grid at the lowest price anywhere in this region, a price of 8.54 US cents per kilowatt hour. Ground was also broken for the construction of a 100 megawatt liquid natural gas cogeneration facility at Jamalco, Clarendon. Some 15 communities benefited from our electrification program. As a result of this initiative, some 1,100 households now have access to proper electricity. For the 3 public sector agencies were last year monitored under the Energy Efficiency Savings Program. As a result of that initiative, some 3.8 million kilowatt hours and some US $1.3 million in savings were realized. Under the recently signed US $40 million Energy Management and Efficiency Program signed with the Inter-American Development Bank and the Japan International Cooperation Agency to promote energy efficiency in government facilities and fuel conservation in road transportation was recently put into effect. We have completed the National Petroleum Codes. In fact, we have also seen quite a number of initiatives within the energy sector to develop Jamaica's energy security. Much was also achieved under the ministry's science portfolio. A fund was recently developed of $30 million, giving access to Jamaican scientists to be able to develop their scientific ability. This is part of the general thrust of the government to ensure that we invest in R&D. This fund is geared towards ensuring that quality research projects in water research and indigenous knowledge is developed. The draft National Science, Innovation and Technology Policy was also completed. Recently, the government signed a MOU with Biojam Industrial Research and Development Global Incorporation to undertake a feasibility study for the establishment of a science and technology park in Jamaica. There were quite a number of achievements in the area of technology. Recently, we launched the Technology Advancement Program, TAP 1000, which seeks to target young people between the age of 18 to 35. And this project seeks to facilitate the acquisition of ICT skills and equip them to participate in the global digital economy. We recently launched our US $800,000 Creative Industries Education and Employment Program. This program seeks to equip some 150 trainees with training in 3D animation. $13 million worth of laptops and software were handed over to facilitate 40 members of the community of persons with disabilities. From a legislative perspective, we are currently looking at the Data Protection Bill in Parliament. This bill seeks to afford Jamaicans with the necessary protection as we encourage them to use ICT. Recently, we launched a state-of-the-art Center for Innovation and Advanced Manufacturing in partnership with the Caribbean Maritime University. The Government of Jamaica also launched the Jamaica portal at www.gov.jm. This portal will act as the one-stop shop for all things online relating to the Government of Jamaica. We also launched a number of public Wi-Fi facilities across the country. These free public Wi-Fi facilities are located at Devon House, Mandela Park in Arthur, St. William Grand Park in downtown, Olympic Way, Junction and Mandeville. We have embarked on a program to install all the community access points across this country with solar PV systems. This is part of the drive of the government to ensure that these community access points are sustained and that we can continue to build out the ICT capacity of our people. The Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology will continue to fuel Jamaica's growth and development.
A state of public emergency has been declared for the parish of St. James. Persons residing in and outside the parish, if you are aware of criminal activities and wanted persons in St. James, please speak up. The number to call is 837-8888. Caller's identity will be kept confidential. The enhanced security measures imposed in St. James are already bearing fruit. Residents, businesses and other stakeholders have commended the government for its tough decision to rid the parish of crime. We went out west and found peace. Watch this.
The declaration of a state of public emergency does not mean the suspension of the rule of law. The security forces are expected and have been directed to treat citizens with respect and protect the dignity and safety of all.
That promise is being fulfilled as the security forces, in collaboration with members of the judiciary, are ensuring that the streets of St. James are safe for all. Armed forces parading the streets, spot checks here and there. Otherwise, life is normal in St. James. What's even better, since the enactment of the state of public emergency on January 18, 2018, murder has dropped in the parish. Montegonians just want peace. And they're getting that as security personnel blanket the streets of the city and wider parish.
Of course I feel safer. I can walk out and know, say, oh, I have my pocketbook. I'm not going to get jacked for what's little bit I have in my pocketbook.
At least I know that leaving from Hanover coming to Montego Bay, I'm coming to somewhere safe and not scared and trembling and wondering if I really need to get up to come to work in the morning.
I'm not scared because it's safe. We have a lot of police here and military, you know. We see everything here. It's not dangerous. I never see more military here than we see in Canada. Coming to Jamaica is good.
The more than 700 justices of the peace in St. James are also playing a key role in this process.
As a justice of the peace, our role and function is to ensure that persons are not held unnecessarily without a charge being laid against them.
As it relates to the detainees, our responsibility is to make sure that all the rights that are afforded or accorded to them under the Constitution is upheld during the process of the investigation or the processes that they go through when they're detained by the police for whatever reasons. Our responsibilities is to, like I said, and I can't emphasize anymore, not to rubber stamp what the police is doing, not to interfere with what the police is doing, but to ensure that all the rights that we were taught and trained to look out for under the conditions that they're held, the rules that govern questioning and answering sessions, all of that. And when we see that that is not being done, we are to intervene and to stop the travesty of justice, if that is the opinion that we share. Normally, two of us or two persons would be accompanied to a Q&A or one of those sessions to pretty much give a second opinion and our senior justice would be present with a junior justice to ensure that the rights of the citizens is observed.
There are books, there are records that we go and we check. We check the book to see if somebody is being held unduly without being charged. We check to see if those who are on medication are getting their medication, if they're being visited by the doctor. So there are records there. We are allowed to go into those cells. We are allowed to speak to them secretly, and they're allowed to give us information that they need to give us.
From report from the police is the cooperation of the citizens is very visible. I've heard comments. The business community is fully on board with this action by the government.
The security forces, the school, community, businesses, and the general public working together to ensure St. James returns to the days of peace beyond the date of the state of public emergency, which has been extended to May 2, 2018.
Violence against women and girls is a human problem, not just a woman's problem. It's a problem for men too. Gender violence takes many forms, including sexual assault, domestic violence, relationship abuse, sexual harassment, and sexual abuse of children. The magnitude of ongoing violence against women and children in our country is cause for alarm. We can end the violence. It requires all of us to end the violence. I call on all our men and women in Jamaica to take a stand. And men, especially, must get involved in this movement to create a better world for their daughters, their mothers, their sisters, their aunts, their uncles, their fathers, their sons, and for themselves. Let's protect and reassure. Let's unite to end gender violence.
Next, we get you prepared for International Women's Day, which will be observed on Thursday. See now how women are helping to engender contentment and self-actualization in each other's lives.
What we try to do is to organize women who can support each other, who can offer not just information, but sometimes it's tangible support that they need. Sometimes they need opportunities, they need connections. And what we try to do is to link local women with those globally.
We're
really are marking International Women's Day 2018. So we do have, this mentoring walk is taking place in more than 50 countries around the world, and we're a part of a global network. And it's helpful to tap into and leverage those global resources, those global folks, and the knowledge base that they have and the support systems that are available that women right here are able to access.
I make it a duty to be here this morning to just indulge in the fun and this experience and to learn something new. I'm sure I can take home something from today's activity. So I want to get the motivation, because as females in the whole work industry and stuff, you don't get that much support that you should. So a group of females coming together to motivate each other and inspire each other. Yes, I'm going to take that home.
I came here just to share with women out of my experience, the values that I have inherited through the programs that I've been a part of.
I have two young ladies with me, lovely ladies who actually need no mentoring, Camelia and Alafia, and they are students at the Caribbean Maritime Institute. But we've just been talking generally about their academics, their career goals, and I'm trying to share some tips with them about what it's like out there in the real working world, but they're already really on the right track.
So in this walk, I was able to get mentor and help, connections, because I would like to become a pilot in the future, and it's not everyone knows the direction or path that is supposed to be taken. So I benefit a lot from this walk, and I hope to gain more.
We can do it in so many ways, just in terms of supporting each other's businesses, understanding and knowing what we do, seeing where some of the shortfalls are in terms of, it's a man's world, that's the truth. So how can we open doors for each other? How can we consume more from each other? How can we build each other up where we have weaknesses or gaps? So do we have weaknesses in terms of management styles or certain particular skills that another woman can help with? I think it's really a question of networking and connecting and just opening those doors, opening those opportunities for women.
We need to make a decision to be active, not be passive, not just be observers of what we're facing, but come together and say, okay, we know that in numbers, there's the ability to make an impact, especially when we live in an age where our voice is so powerful. Social media is a platform that gives us such a strong voice that causes people to have to listen to that voice. So how can we start with a simple thing as our voice? We may not think we have the resources to make a difference. We may not think we have the position to make a difference. We may not think we have the network to make a difference. But how could we come together and with something just as simple as our voice?
As women, we need to support each other, come together, make the connection, and try to help the young people to achieve their goals, because I think the young people today are a little wayward, because I've been working in the schools and I've seen their behavior, their actions, and I think they really need a mentoring.
If we know that something is going on in their life or in their environment, we can offer a helping hand, because I think that a lot of women today, they see things and they turn a blind eye to it. Then when the situation increases, we sit back and we wonder, what have they been doing? Why can't anybody help them when you are there to offer assistance? And I think that once we start knowing how to care and share our responsibilities with each other, then Jamaica can be a better place.
We can also use the same social media as a positive mode to share what is actually happening in Jamaica. So the time that persons will spend to share and post a video of something negative, we can use that as a positive mode.
Be open about embracing the help from other women, because I find that women always find it challenging to accept that another woman is helping and not trying to destroy. So it's just about being open to the friendship from another woman and trust that it's for a better good.
Van Nash.
He has been here for about 6 months. He does general stock maintenance and ordering of the shelves. When he just started out, he was a bit shy and reserved, but over time he has become more outspoken, and he gets along well with his co-workers, and he does good work here.
It's a joy having Desmond here with us. I really appreciate NYS for sending him here. He has been a good worker. We had no problem with him. If somebody didn't say it, you didn't even know that he has a disability. Anywhere you sent him to work, he fits in himself, and we are very happy to have him.
My name is David Wickenham. I work at J&J Pharmacy on Barney Street.
Well, working with Davian, it has been a really great experience. Well, I'm an open-minded person, and when I heard that he was going to be here, I was like, if he's going to be reserved or outspoken, well, he's actually outspoken. If anything is needed to be done, we can call on Davian.
Thanks to the NYS for developing the empowerment program, for giving young people with disabilities a better chance in life, and I trust that they will continue this program.
Just to say, continue doing what you're doing, and God's richest blessing on the organization. If you or someone you know has an intellectual disability, you can refer them to the National Youth Service, where our program fully caters to their personal and professional needs, where we will be sure to assist them in transitioning into the world of work.
The National Youth Service, empowering Jamaica's young people.
Our land has been suffering from immorality. The crime, the drugs, the bloodshed have only brought more sorrow.
We must change and give our children a brighter tomorrow. Let's renew our pledge to God as we work to heal our land and fellow man.
Let's join hands across Jamaica
for righteousness.
Let's join hands.
Let's join hands across Jamaica
for righteousness.
Pray, eternal Father,
Bless this Jamaica land.
let's join hands and hearts together and make
Jamaica a land of love.
This is where the page is closed for today. You may watch our features anytime at your leisure. Just click on our website or YouTube channel. Our social media sites also have loads of information which you may find useful. Join us tomorrow on this station when we'll explore other educational programs. I'm Carrie Ann Smith. Take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.